everyone, this is Rishi from the Growing Home, and we are out here at Sarvodaya Farms, and I just wanted to show you what we've done to the soil here since we took over this property 6 months ago. So this is the soil that as it was when we got here. You can see even though it's a sandy, silty soil, it still had compacted into these almost like rocks. So they're easy to break, but they're still compact for when a root is trying to get into the ground. And it's very dry. Plants were not growing here very well. We were growing a lot of weeds when we got here to this property. And now let me show you what it looks like right now. So look at this, we're in the orchard here, and as I dig down, it's nice and soft. You can see the soil is moist, it's crumbly, and you can see some life, there's some life starting to return. There's some insects crawling around. If we dig a little more, we might find some worms. So as I dig in here, you'll see this area, you'll see all these white spots here. And if I dig out, maybe I can show you a little better. But this is actually, here we go. This is the fungi, the main feeders of our trees and more perennial plants. The fungi is starting to grow here from the wood chips. Oh, there we go. Now you can really see that. Look at this. You can see how thick that white fungus is, which is the mycelium, or holding these wood chips together, and they're also breaking them down and eating them. You can see how moist the soil is, how loose it is. It's much more rich, and they're starting to, like I said, we're getting insects and worms back in here, and we're seeing a reflection of the health of the soil in the orchard itself and in the land itself. So let me tell you a little bit about what we've done to get it to this point. So when we got onto this property, a lot of these trees were diseased, they were not doing well, they were not being irrigated properly. And so what we did was, the first thing that we did is we applied a layer of mulch. So we put wood chips, just a few inches, 2 or 3 inches, over the whole area. We covered the soil with wood chips. Then on top of that, we put another 2 or 3 inches of horse stable bedding, which is the wood shavings that are put under horses, plus their urine and feces mixed together. So we applied that in a 2 to 3 inch layer as well. And then we planted a cover crop. And a cover crop is something that you grow specifically to feed the soil. And the cover crop that we planted was a mix of daikon radish, oats, rye, peas, sunflowers, flaxseed, and a few others. And all of those started to bring life into this soil. We want the primary plant that is going to help the soil here is this daikon radish. And you can see here, let me pull a few of these up. You can see how deep these roots are, how dense these roots are. So they are actually going down, and all that compacted soil I showed you, they're busting that soil up. And also the grasses that we planted have very thick, fibrous roots that are going down, putting a lot of organic matter into the soil. And the sunflowers and the flax seeds were attracting bees and butterflies. And right now, even after we've mowed this whole thing down, we still have tons of ladybugs and bees and hoverflies and wasps that have come in because of this cover crop. Now, the reason that we chopped this down now was that we grew all of this organic matter, and now we wanted to return it to the soil. So we just went through with a few machetes, we chopped all of this to the ground. Now all of that organic matter which was in the leaves and in the leaves of our cover crop is coming to the ground, where the soil organisms will be able to eat it. And also the roots, and especially the daikon radish roots, which are down deep in the ground, a lot of organic matter. These daikon radishes are going to decompose in the soil, and it's as if we have added a foot of compost mixed into our soil, except we didn't have to do any of that work. So we're adding tons of organic matter into the soil we're bringing back the microbes, bringing back the life, attracting insects and attracting beneficial birds and butterflies, and we're seeing the health now in the trees, which no longer have disease, which are growing vigorously and are just starting to flower now, and we're going to get some really nice fruit here in the summer. So you can see one of our trees here just starting to break bud and come out of dormancy and is flowering, and it is just beautiful. These trees all had some type of disease before we got here. Now no sign of disease, flowering beautifully. We just installed a beehive, and so now the bees are coming, pollinating our flowers, and we're going to get some amazing fruit. And I just want to emphasize, how quick this happened. 6 months ago, this place was like a desert, and these trees were not very healthy. And today, everything is much, much healthier. We're still just getting started. There's a lot more that we're going to do here to increase the health of the soil, increase the health of these trees, and attract and feed a lot of the wildlife in this area. So you can do this very quickly, and as long as you know the right things to do, and that's what we teach you at the Growing Home and through the Growing Club. So check out some of our other videos and come to some of our classes. We want to help you learn how to grow food at home and for your community.